Hey everyone, this is Firstborn Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Brad Panovich. Quick update on what's going on with the flood situation here, as well as Tropical Storm Andrea. You're looking at a close-up view right now. Andrea having a pretty good time of it this morning, trying to organize almost an eye-like feature, and really has wound up a little bit. The one thing that's deterring Andrea from getting too strong is some dry air, which continues to kind of intrude the west side. We're starting to see some dry air come all the way in here and try to cut off the circulation a little bit, but we still got this big plume of moisture on the east side, which is continuing to move to the north and east, and that's where the flood threat, the tornado threat is. You can see the tornado watch, which is encompassing almost the entire state of Florida now up into southern Georgia. We've seen several tornado warnings throughout the afternoon. As you get closer to the Charlotte area and our area, we've got a couple different things going on. It's just not Andrea, though Andrea is definitely helping. We've got a weak trough up in this area. We've got another little disturbance here, and we had an old frontal boundary up in here. And the combination of all of these is allowing for deep tropical moisture, which is somewhat associated with the rotation around Andrea to evict this deep tropical moisture into the area. So what happens is, with just some heating of the day, which it doesn't take much because we don't have anything to really stop thunderstorm development, we're getting a lot of showers and thunderstorms to develop real quickly and produce heavy rain. If we zoom in real close, you can see there's numerous showers and thunderstorms already developing right there this afternoon. And I'm going to throw the dew points on here because I think the dew points are pretty telling about just how deep the moisture is. We have a 70-degree dew point over the Charlotte area, upper 60s into the mountains. This is very, very rich air. This is like having a saturated sponge. It takes very little to touch it and squeeze out the moisture. So the flood threat is huge, even though with the track of the storm, the latest track, the 11 p.m. advisory, still has a storm passing just to our east. So when I show you where the track of the storm is just to our east, we're going to see probably a band form on the east or the northwest side that could clip the Charlotte area. You're already seeing it today in areas right around Florida where you have this big band of moisture developing on the north side. This will likely rotate around a little bit as the storm tracks up in this direction. So there could be a swath of very heavy rain even along and west of the track with this storm because there's so much moisture in place across the area. Let's look at the water vapor loop real quickly to show you where this moisture is coming from. You can see how much moisture there is north and east of the center. West of it, you can see that dry air trying to wrap into the center, which is choking it off a little bit. But look how rich the moisture is over the eastern half of the country. And then look at the plume. I'm going to actually switch to the tropical satellite image, and you'll see, I got some bad data, but this plume of moisture actually extends, I'll turn the visible on, actually extends all the way down into the deep tropics here. So we've got a ton of moisture to work with. Any storms that develop this afternoon are going to have the potential to produce a lot of rain. So let's turn off everything for a second and look at some model data to see how things unfold this afternoon. This is the NAM4 model, and this will give you an idea. Bands of heavy rain rotating in through tonight and even into tomorrow. And notice even though the low or the circulation with Andrea is up in this area, I'm going to turn the NAM4 on, which is a little higher resolution. You notice where the low tracking along coast. Look at all this moisture back to the west, which is still being produced because of a disturbance and a synoptic system, a trough coming in from the west. So we'll still see some rain right through Friday. When I'm looking at this, this is going through Friday afternoon, and then all the way into Saturday. We could have some storms lingering into Saturday morning as we've got a big mess in here. So quick look again at the radar. We'll put the track on there, loop it a couple times, and this will give you a good idea on what we're looking at. So flash flood watch in effect for the entire area through tomorrow. Don't worry so much about Andrea unless you're heading to the coast. Huge threat there. Doesn't matter for us. We're going to see widespread showers and thunderstorms throughout the afternoon through Friday and maybe even into Saturday. Of course, I'll be covering this on air today starting at 4, 5, and 6 on NBC Charlotte. And you can always follow us online, WCNC.com, as well as Facebook, Twitter, and Google+. If you're on Google+, hop on there, posting a lot of great animated GIFs of the storm, and we'll keep things up to date. Watch the flooded areas. Don't drive into water, please. Be safe out there today as we get this flooding rains coming in.